Hi, I'm Jay. Welcome to my new thing that I'm doing, showing you guys how to make little cool robots like this guy. Speaking of which, this guy is known as Aussie. Very small, very adorable, and can do mostly slick around with you. I mean, come on, you gotta admit, that's cool. The cool thing about this is today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make your very own Aussie. I have all the parts spread out on my desk. Let's get started. So step one is always to print out the parts. I have 3 printers going to get everything done in time. To make things super simple, I've tried to make this as easy as possible. Just because as a first build, if this is your first time doing a whole bunch of 3D printing and you just want to have a fun little cool robot, I want to make sure the process is easy, simple, and of course, fun. So you're not going to be using many screws, but you will be using a lot of adhesive. I recommend hot glue gun for one, or E600 epoxy, very good, very good. Crazy glue, also my favorites. Glue, PLA glue, really good adhesives. But any of these can work. First step, clean off the parts. I always print all my parts with supports on them. It's kind of a hassle sometimes, but it makes sure the print comes out safely and neatly. Next, you want to glue the bottom ball rack to the teeth rack. Make sure you get enough adhesive, that way it sticks on there very well, and make sure the teeth are pointing downwards. Next, attach the ball ring onto the teeth rack. Double check to make sure the pieces are connected and holding strong. Next, you want to attach the front jaw to the teeth rack, just like so. When everything is complete, it should look something like this. Next thing we can do while we wait for the adhesive to dry is to start cleaning off the legs. I'm using a 6x5 bolt and a hex nut to attach these pieces together. For the bigger legs, I use a 8x5 bolt and a hex nut to connect them. After that, you should have something that looks similar to this on your desk. So, next, alright, the hard part is of course the electronics. Electronics is always what scares people away most of the time, but trust me, don't get scared. You got this. We're going to be using a simple setup using an Adafruit trinket. It's one of my personal favorite boards, so you know, simple, needs to get done. And some LEDs. It's really simple. You got this. First, start off soldering. Make the solder the connectors onto the trinket. So after you have your trinket soldered, with the connectors on it, next you're going to want a perma board. Perma boards are super inexpensive. They're great for permanently soldering your components together. This one has connectors on it, so I can reuse it over and over again, but it's perfect for what we're going to be using it for this little guy. You're also going to need to make sure you have your LEDs ready. I've already had these. I soldered these yesterday, and I made sure to put the connectors on them, just so they can easily fit on the perma board. First, make sure you upload your code to the trinket. So, this is how your perma board should end up looking. I have the Adafruit trinket in the middle. This is the power area over here with all the wires. This is where the battery is going to power up everything for us. And I have 2 wires powering the trinket. So we're going to test this in a second. We'll grab a servo and we'll do that. As you can see here, I have 2 LEDs plugged up. That way I can test the LEDs and test the circuit itself. The servo's running, everything looks good. Inside the head is a servo connection. That way you can easily attach a servo horn to it. Just like so. Next, what you want to do is attach the legs to the body. I use ball joints for this robot, which are a very tight fit, but can definitely slide on. You just have to give it a little push. Try not to push too hard or they will break, but if you can somehow get in that nice medium, I usually use my thumb to press hard on it and get them connected. The body should look like this when you're done. All the legs attached in their rightful places. Next, you want to hot glue the LEDs inside the eye sockets you printed out. Make sure you add enough hot glue to make sure they're secure. To help spread the LED light, what we're going to do is take the hot glue and we're going to spread it around the LED inside the eye, as so. Next, you want to take the other 2 LEDs and stick them inside the head. You want to hot glue them inside the head, that way they don't move when the servo's moving around. Next, just like the other eyes, you want to take the hot glue gun and put some hot glue around the LED inside the eye. Lastly, you want to glue the eyes into the eye sockets of the robot, just to make sure they fit in there and don't slide out.
At this point, the circuit should be looking a little bit like this. You can fit it all and the lithium-ion battery inside the robot's base. Next, take the servo holder in it, and put it on top of that. I recommend testing your circuit and make sure the servo is moving and the LEDs turn on. Next, you want to attach your servo to the servo hand on the top of your robot's head. Make sure you fit all the wires inside the head as well, that way you can hide the circuit. Lastly, turn your robot on and make sure it's moving around. Perfection. Next, take your cover ring. It should have 2 small slots in it. You can fit it over your robot. That way it hides all the extra wiring and little circuits that may accidentally spring out when the robot's moving around really fast.
And just like that, you're done. See? And you're probably wondering how it's sitting on my head like this. Well, the ball joints are really strong and really tight together, so it's enough room just for it to move and bend and just hold on to my head, which is very useful for when I do stuff like this. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my tutorial. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to look at them and get them all sorted out to fix any problems that you guys run into. I am trying to make this as easy to make as possible. And I've already edited the files and edited anything else to make it a little more simpler for people. But yeah, I hope this is a fun build. It's pretty easy. It's really simple. It's more of a 3D printing thing than anything. But yeah, I'm going to go play with these little guys right now. So subscribe, leave a comment, come hang out. More videos on the way.